Yo, what's good, people? Happy Friday. How are you all today? Hopefully you're surviving the week all right. What's up, Saf? Welcome back, dude. Bunch. Hello. Thank you for the sub, by the way, over in Becky's room. Zamertz. Thank you so much for the resub. I do appreciate it. How are you doing today, man? Paul says, greetings from sunny Maryland. It is gray here in Portland, but it's about to be really sunny and summer-like. Saf is saying, my dad's shop has so many great sounds. Ooh, nice. What kind of shop? Hey, Sed is here. Welcome back, Sed. How are you, dude? Happy Friday to you, man. Saf is saying, my dad runs a printing company, makes business cards. Dude, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Your dad runs a printing shop? Dude, you should be... printing presses are quite literally one of the greatest things that you can record for sound design purposes. Well, as we've covered in sessions. But you should record everything. Everything. Happy Fridays, Emirates. Awesome. Well, maybe we'll get some fresh cards printed up. Stormy weather, huh? Do you find that inspiring, Zamertz? I tend to find that kind of inspiring. You can get them for free, huh, Saf? You know a guy. I don't know where everyone was saying this morning, Paul. When I logged on to Twitch, I saw that Damien wasn't there. I'm assuming that it was like a travel day for him or something. But I popped in to see what Becky was up to and how she was feeling today. Bonch was chilling over there. Bonch is a mod over there. Hello, Andremia. How are you, brother? Yes, weather, more energy in the air. Yeah, totally. That's kind of how I feel about it, too. I actually kind of contemplated just taking you guys for a morning walk this morning. Like out along the creek or something. Weather's coming back. We can do that kind of stuff. I think, well, tomorrow I get my second shot. And I forget the exact timing, but within a 2-week period of me receiving that second shot, I can start walking around like outside in our neighborhood area without a mask on. So yeah, I'm kind of itching to get out. I'll take you guys on some walks or something. All right, so it's Feedback Friday. So if you guys have sounds and music you want ears on and you want me to say words about those things, I will do that for you. You just drop a link in the chat as per usual, and we will get to it. And then I'm kind of conflicted. I think you guys will probably have to tell me, oh no, dude, Paul. Oh man, just lost a crown on the tooth. Oh. Damn it, dude. I'm so sorry. I hope that is fixed swiftly for you. That sucks on a Friday, too. All right, so I'm a bit conflicted. I don't know if I want to make music today or if I want to make sounds today. So let's all say a chant or prayer or whatever you do. Do a dance or something for Paul. Ah, man, I think everyone can relate to dental woes. I don't know if I have any tooth healing capabilities with sound. I'm not sure about that. Dude, that sucks. All right, so shall I make music or shall I make sounds? Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. How about I use some sacred stuff, since y'all are over there working on things with sacred sounds in them. Tooth sound therapy. Let's ditch out of this here. Oh, speaking of sacred, Andremia says. Oh, you know, Paul, I think Paul actually posted something. Since we're... Man, let's send Paul a bunch of good vibes, and should we check out what he dropped, or should we wait? No, we should check it out, because he put it in there for a reason. Let's see here. Let's go over to Discord. There's a Fabio thing happening. That was my bad. I accidentally posted. Well, I didn't accidentally. I intentionally posted this, but I didn't think about the repercussions of other people posting more Fabio pictures. So I'm trying to hypnotize you with a squirrel. So, Uncle Chrome, Paul, has posted this Sacred Tome 4. Let's check this out. Quite ominous. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, Andremia. Link in the chat. Excellent. What's up, Cardio? I'm digging this, Paul. Well, dang-a-lang, Paul. That was fun, dude. And I like the showing of the plugins and stuff. Man, it was actually kind of riveting. That's awesome. Um, Saf, you have a video of Eternal Darkness and a couple of songs you'd like to share. Sure, man. Toss them into the chat. We will check them out. If you want people to be able to check them out outside of the stream, you can always post them in the Discord. Welcome in, Cardio. How are you today? Hope you're having a good Friday, Liv. Okay, so Samaritz is also saying I've got a video score competition. Pretty sure it's okay to be viewed. As Metapop said it was okay to share as long as we named. Yeah, share it, dude. Paul, I'm glad that this is going to be an easy fix, that it's just a matter of gluing it back on. But that sucks. Were you actively eating when it came off? Cool, Andromia. Excellent. All right, so I'm gonna click on this first link from Andromia. This is Sacred Sounds Only, and this is a whip. So we'll get the update later. All right, dude. First off, this is great. And it's good to hear some stuff from you, dude. I'm digging the classic vibe, and in the intro there, I was seriously getting this game vibe off of it. Um, and then stuff starts to get real, right? 115, low end is a little intrusive in the mids. So you might want to consider doing a little dip around 500 or so, maybe 400, somewhere in there, kind of feel it out. It could be as low as 350. Um, when you find the spot, you'll know it because the other kind of mid-range sounds in your mix will get lighter and kind of lift up in the mix. And it should help this flute is feeling obfuscated thing. You might want to accent the low, that bass around 60 to 80 hertz, and then add maybe just a touch of subtle movement, either there in the EQ or maybe just a little tremolo at a really, really like subtle level of just like maybe some undulation or pulsation or something, just to draw attention to it. So nothing major, just a little bit of something to make people go, "What's going on there?" Flute is a bit obfuscated, like I said. If you use a overdrive, very minimal gain added back, like maybe a dB or something, and then target 7K or so, maybe 6.5, but I think probably about 7K is going to be the sweet spot. Really enjoying the width and the depth of this track and your use of layers, and the movement in said layers. A lot of really good, unique and creative ideas. Really cool juxtaposition of sounds, and I'm really enjoying the balance of like the warm low end and the metallic highs. And going back and listening here, right in this spot here. Yeah, you're just not allowed to quit making music at this point. So, Guy's here. Welcome, Guy. Hey, congrats on the shot, dude. Oh, eggs and bagel. Man, Paul. Not this time. Man, must be one hell of a bagel. Guy, this emote with the crown on top of the pillow, that's amazing. Idremia says, "Sacred sounds only," but, well, I did my thing to them. Well, you did it quite well. I really like it. Oh, yeah, I get number 2 tomorrow. Getting faxy with it. Oh my goodness. Me and this kid both had the same weird reaction to it, and they made us sit at Rite Aid for 40 minutes. Oh man, sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, I got mine. Oh, thank you for the sub, guy. Um, I got mine. I was sitting in my car. So I did see a couple people pull over, but I think for the most part it was pretty smooth. Just one sample. That's amazing. There's 50 samples in that pack. And I don't know how many good spots to focus on in each one of those samples, but you've got at least 50 different tracks there in that pack then, huh? Nice, Andromia. Very nice. All right, let's check out Zameritz dropped a link here. Looks like a little rescore competition, maybe?
Where grandson and granddad will bond.
All right, so Metapop competition. This is Zamerit's entry here. Ah, yes. All right, I want to do this one more time here. All right, so this is cool. What exactly is the competition on this one? Like, what is the focus of it? I'd like to give you feedback that's actually relevant to what you're doing here. It was mostly Pigments 3 apart from the cheddar, made in about an hour, which is really good for me. Awesome. Oh, and Andremia used a bunch of sounds in the pack on that one. Okay, cool. Guy, we will be doing some scoring competitions in this very stream starting next month. In fact, I made the first little thing a couple streams ago for it. Maybe we'll do some more of that today. I still haven't decided if I'm going to make some music or I'm going to make some sounds in between feedback today. You guys should tell me which one you want to see more. Yeah, Zemerts. That's the first thing that I would mention in this, is that there is like some brightness that I would try to focus on. The focus incorporating action strings, probably sound design and how you use the video. Okay, cool. Write a score to the trailer video, included the pack. Use at least one of the loops provided. Not use any material to which you do not own the copyright. Upload the video to YouTube, Vimeo, and use the title, blah, 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 blah. Upload the audio to this page, include a link. Okay, cool. So, add approved versions as you go. Cool, awesome. So, if this is mostly about incorporating action strings, I would say still make the production as holistically complete as you can, because Metapop is owned by Native Instruments, and what they're really looking for is ways to showcase action strings in real legit, like Hollywood level productions. So what they hope to get out of these competitions are like unique surprises and stuff. So here's a couple of unique ideas. Oh, and I forgot to even put the helicopter in there. Okay, so this helicopter, and you've got this pulsating sound that you've got at the beginning and the end. You can incorporate that into the actual score of this whole thing, like musically, right? Like as that fades, instead of just stopping, you could fade it and you could have like some kind of rhythmic pulse remaining there. And maybe it's all coming from action strings, right? It's just that you're manipulating it in some way. Maybe you're putting it through a guitar rig or something like that. They'd really like that. And then there's this motorcycle. So what if, you know, as this motorcycle is weaving through, you've made something in, you know, massive or serum or something, this like slowly winding up, right? And you kind of move it around left and right as the motorcycle's going through, and maybe it's a riser. Maybe it ends up being a riser or something, right? Drums. I would think that there's got to be some drums in this to really drive it, right? Because there's this increase in intensity happening as this scene unfolds here. And then as it reaches its apex towards the end here, let's just go through this one more time. I'll pause it when we get there. Wait a minute, hold on a second, that's not yours. Why am I... Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Where's yours? Hey, did I just see Ricky get in? Yeah, what's up, Ricky? How you doing, man? All right, I'm clicking on this link again because it took me away from your video.
Look at this. 94% of people believe company culture is important to an
Sure, I buy that. All right. Yeah, see, that could totally be a riser coming up. And you could even have like some growing intensity of the strings kind of backing some kind of synth, right? So the synth can be kind of even like Tron-like if you really want to. It would kind of fit the mood of the city scene. But have this like growing, ratcheting intensity coming from some really high strung strings. We've got to have drums in here at this point. Probably some taikos. Or maybe the taikos hit here, and before that there was just like maybe some little rims. Maybe like a kick every once in a while, like on the 1 or something, or the 1 and the 2, and just like a little rim work, and then bam, some taikos there. Right here, where everything gets kind of flipped, I would try to do some kind of like morphing kind of thing where, or like a pitch bend or like some kind of smearing kind of thing. And I loves that kind of stuff in general. And if the strings are part of that, then even better. And one thing you could do that's rather unsettling is go for kind of like maybe the tritone effect, where let's see here, what is it? You go down 3 steps. If you were to like crossfade in another layer of those same strings, maybe even drop down an octave, but set down 3 semitones from the original and crossfade that into the pre-existing strings there at the end. You get this nice kind of warped, unsettling kind of topsy-turvy effect. Topsy-turvy effect, I think. Just turn it into chiptune like that one contestant did. Piss off the hardcore people. Blow the judges away with originality. Oh, that's actually a pretty good idea, right? Go like full on Adventure Time. That'd be great. Samaritan's is saying, yes, use it for movement triggers on the other elements, some type of riser. Yes, good ideas. Transients would be good to keep focus. Yes, cool. Ooh. Oh, wait. Okay, so they're rescoring a Black Mirror scene and they went all 8-bit. That's flippin' hilarious. That's awesome. Yeah, Riser think that would gel well and add some darkness. Yeah, Zmerits, absolutely. And you could even get like the juxtaposition thing going, right? Like as there's a riser coming up, maybe there's also like some kind of weird pitch bend down on some cellos maybe. Another kind of unsettling bit. Guy, I don't, but I will say that watching people react during contests like that is oftentimes the most entertaining part of the whole thing. Ooh, a rattlesnake is a riser. Nice, nice. Yeah, see, that's creative. I like that. All right. All right, has anyone else dropped links? Because if not, I'm going to try and figure out if I'm going to make some sounds or some music. If I'm making sounds today, I'm probably making them for you guys. And if I'm making music, I'm probably going to make something that's going to be used as part of a little scoring competition for you guys. I've got some stuff lined up for you. Where's my Discord? All right, I think we're clear on submissions for a few. All right, so you guys want to see me make some sounds or some music? That's the question. And what should we use? I'm feeling like maybe absinthe and pigments today. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Guy. And also, I should have mentioned, Zamertz, that I would add just general ambience to this thing, right? Like go and find some city traffic sounds and stuff like that. And you can incorporate these things in very, very subtle ways, but they fill a massive amount of space. And it's not like sonic space that it's filling up. It's mental, it's imagination space, right? Just remember that the role of sounds and music in scoring stuff like this is really to bring something to life. The ambience, the setting, the environment, the atmosphere is really what makes it immersive. And when you get those things really in balance, it becomes rather riveting, right? Because it is all so fully intertwined. The other thing that is a wonderful little magical byproduct of using general ambience and stuff to help fill out space while you're working on scenes is that you aren't quite sure what's going to happen when you start mixing your sounds and your music in there. And there's always happy accidents. So just consider that and get a little creative in how you incorporate your ambience. It's something that a lot of people forget in competitions like that. So the ones that do include that kind of stuff usually tend to rank better with people because the whole thing feels more complete and impressive and whatnot. So for what it's worth. Ricky says music. Okay, so Zamertz says pigments and Ricky says music. Let's do it. Let's make something fun then, huh? Last time we made, well, we talked for a lot of the stream. But we ended up outputting something. Hey, can I get a show of hands in the chat? Just W for Windows and M for Mac. Who's running on what? I am curious. Okay, so this was 5 simple score. Okay, so we did this. This is just a little 2-minute little ditty. Unmixed, of course. Yeah, this would probably sound kind of decent all mixed out. All right, yeah. So that's what we made last time around, and we'll make, I don't know, maybe not the same kind of style, but we'll make something. I don't know. We have got like a couple hours here. We can knock something about out about the same size. Stop for feedback every once in a while. The concept here, you guys, is that I'm going to challenge you guys to make some stuff that would be like a score for a scene of some kind, and you don't have to get all fancy with video if you're not, experienced with it or inspired to do so. It can absolutely just be like music, beat, whatever. Um, but just to kind of change it up, I'm thinking that we're going to um, spice up the challenge by making next month's monthly community challenge and the free sound pack kind of coincide with this. Because we've got some really cool like video stuff coming up in the stream. So, hey, Nate's here. How are you, dude? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we've got a split audience. It looks like window dominant. Yeah, Mac is fantastic. If you're into Audio Design Desk and Medicine, then you've just got to get a Mac eventually. Hmm. How can you actually get kinetic metal sounds without using the Kontakt library? Saf, are you wondering how to access the samples in your directories? Like you have kinetic metal, but you just don't want to use it inside of Kontakt, or are you looking for sounds that are similar to the type of sounds that you get out of kinetic metal? Liv is saying, y'all, our June 1st track is sort of maybe kind of good. I'm excited. Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, Paul, it does sound challenging, right? But it's fun because a lot of people in the community here don't normally make that kind of stuff. And I think it is fantastic to start to get a cinematic mindset with music because you start to think about different types of source sounds in your mix, and it all just becomes really inspiring as you go. Everything is very inspired as you work. Um, you're looking for sounds that are similar. Okay. Let me think on that one, Nick. Let me think on that one. Guy, you're in for it now, dude. Mm. Oh, man. Sign out is here. Welcome, dude. Welcome back. It's good to have you in the mix again. How are things? How are things at the school? What's new in life? All right, let's start something from scratch here. What kind of music will this be? Let's see. Let's start with a wavetable. I still need to get to know all of these wavetables. Some interesting tones in that one. All right, let's start here. I'm still very much getting used to this. I've driven this thing twice now. We'll see how it goes. Let's do a little bit of this with an envelope. And let's get in here. This is maybe a little fast. Attack curve, decay curve. We got a low pass here. Bring this down a bit. Maybe we'll do this with a 2 as well. Bat. Busy with orchestral work, huh? Anything to share? Since you've been away, we've gotten the community challenges back up, and all subs get a free sound pack every month. You can hit the Discord if you want to figure out how all that works, but the short version is that you grab your free sound pack every month. Whatever you are inspired to make, regardless of what it is, you can turn back around and submit that by the end of the month here, and we vote and see who wins what. The big winner gets to be a guest on the show, and we get to know them. And everyone else who participates gets stuff. Other winners get more stuff. Like to keep it simple. Nate, you got anything to share today? All right, let's make this thing a little weird, shall we? Maybe a little comb. Okay, so we're going to take a... I'm not sure if an LFO is the right thing here. Should we do one of these functions? Let's do one of these function dealios. Let's get in here. All right, function 1, that's this one. We'll just add a few little thingies in here, little breakpoints. And smooth these out just a little bit. And then let's just take that down. Let's unsync that a bit. And scale. Oh, I can't scale down more. I'm looking for more of a kind of like a drift effect here. Nothing major. And let's just let it run. And then we'll take maybe an LFO and see what we can do with a little LFO action in there as well. All right, let's get into some effects here really quick. Actually, let's put this one over on the third, and let's make this one a reverb. Or actually, maybe just a delay. Okay, and then can we run this into, what do we have here? We have compressor. Yeah, we do. We have a compressor. We have a multiband. I haven't played with these yet. Ooh, okay, so wait, what do we have here? We've got, this is our ratio, I'm assuming. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so here's our threshold. No. Oh, I see. Compression expansion, perhaps. Okay, expansion compression. Now I'm getting it. Did you already pull the trigger, Cardio? I've got a little link for you that can get you a freebie plugin with it if you like. Nice, dude. Yeah, you have been busy. I'm responding to sign out, by the way, here. Okay, so I'm kind of digging the multiband here. Wow. Reminiscent of OTT without all the awkward bite. Or not awkward, but like digital. All right, let's I'm still a little shocked that we don't have like good pitch manipulation here. Unless I'm just completely missing something, which is entirely possible because I've only, like I said, I've only taken this for a spin a couple of times so far. All right, see if we can get it to like 4 echoes. 3 echoes. That's good. 3, 4. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Take down this bit crush a bit, just leave the texture. Yeah. That is the ticket. We're going to put a very subtle reverb on the end of this thing here. Oh, that's kind of weird. The lowest you can sync is a half note. Seems kind of weird. Okay, now that's a cool little trick, though. Let's do envelope number 3 on this one, and we'll go down, and we'll go out like this, maybe? How do I do that? Okay, so the arpeggiator re-triggers this each time, so we can't do it that way. Kind of sucks. What I would like to do Okay, so we can't do that then. What else can we do? It sucks that we can't do that. How do I remove envelope 3? How do I remove an assignment? Huh. What up, Subvids? How are you, dude? Just getting caught up on the chat here really quick. Does it have dither, I wonder, given that it's got expansion as well? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Nate's saying, okay, here it is, Chris, the score from the original soundtrack. Starts at around 22, but everything else you hear so far is what I'm working on. Oh, dude, you know what I just realized, Nate? I don't think I ever listened to what you sent me the other day, dude. Is that something that I can listen to on stream, or is that something I should listen to in private? And also, I'm really sorry about that. I don't think I ever listened to it. All right, so here's this one. So this is the Dragon Age rescore. This is from Nate. Oh, and Paul is saying, OhmLab, you can set a modulator to engine, oscillator, coarse, and fine tunings. Ah, right. Okay. Okay. Oh, and Nate just stepped out. Okay, cool. So let's check this out. This one's from Nate. Where are you at in the mix on this one, Nate? Okay, we're doing this again because this is great. All right, here we go from the top. In fact, I'm just going to pause this and talk through this old school instead of typing all this out. That'll be easier. These interface sounds, I would bring up the loudest as you're moving through the actual menu levels is close to being right. I think it needs to be just a little bit louder, but the other ones definitely need to come up. I appreciate your minimalism. I really do, but I would bump those. It's these middle clicks in here that are the ones that need it the most. Just those little ones. And if those are running through a reverb, Nate, it sounds like they might be. I would pull the pre-delay all the way back if you haven't, and kind of narrow the decay of the reverb on it. So you get the width that you're wanting, like the thickness that you're wanting, without much in the way of reflection. I'd add some movements here, just some textile movements, so you can kind of illustrate the movement here. A little effort sound, right? It's super bright. Be like a or something. And right here, where you're like this character's turning towards this guy, he's holding up his hand. It's obviously blinding. An additional layer, almost tinnitus register. But something maybe a little more metallic. It would go so well with this instrument palette that you're bringing in here. And I think the low end really needs to come up right around here. I think this is where the drama really starts. This right here, this transition right here. Like that needs to just whoom. You may even want to play around with the idea of adding like a little fire whoosh in there and then just roll off a bunch of the highs just to make it a bit more dramatic, of like this veil or something. Footsteps. Brilliant creature sounds. More footsteps. And I would also sync some taikos with his feet. So the pounding that's happening as the rhythm and intensity of that rhythm is increasing. It's kind of in sync with his efforts going up. This guy, I'm thinking, should have some kind of an aura of sound around him, right? Like, it doesn't need to be like sparkly per se, like mutated wind chimes or anything cheesy like that, but more like isolating some of the mid-high frequencies from an electromagnetic field. and then some sort of like zzz, or some kind of like energy exchange, and have a build that is multi-layered here. So I think that at the very minimum, you should have one additional supportive short form, bright white riser at the very end here that just adds to that impact. But I also think that you can have a super quick either sub drop or some kind of like short form downshifter or something that pulls everything down here at this last second to like right at the pinnacle of, right at the apex of the riser, this because you're obviously just dropping off the map here at the end. So all that said, fan freaking tastic, and I continue to be super proud of you. Super proud of you. Ooh, X button on the right, huh? Hold on a second. I'm just catching up with this let's see here. This rate. Ah, X button on the right. Yes. Okay. Thank you. That answers my question on that one. Cool. Well, I will go find that other link here in just 1 second, Nate, and we'll click on that and we'll listen to that too. Nate put together this thing for a client and then sent me a copy of it, and I did not listen to it. It's from the original score. Okay. Okay, cool. Good to know about the mix. They're not. I think you should. Yes, I think you should use a deverb on the interface sounds you're talking about. You can use a transient master if you can shorten the sustain enough. Yeah. It might be the better solution simply because you're going to avoid artifacting. Yeah, movements. Yep. Low end thunderous rumble, yes. Fire whoosh, yes. Spiders might be a smidgen loud. Yeah, I would hold off on that decision until after you hear what the low end bolstering is going to do to this whole thing, because chances are those spiders will be at least slightly obfuscated. Like they'll be at least a little bit affected by the top end of the frequencies of the low end, because it's going to be boomy and thunderous. So those spiders might get swallowed up a little bit by it, and that's fine. Subdrop. Sign out. I do appreciate that, man. He's just saying, you give honestly the most legit advice ever. You know, this is like the most consistent thing that I get messages about in my inbox every week from people. Because, you know, most people that tune in don't get to tune in while it's live. So then I read messages from people outside of the stream. More. All right, so let's find that other one from Nate really quick. This was, oh, I think, was that just in a text, homie? No, it wasn't. This is, oops. Well, Nate, where the hell is it? Nate. Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay, so let's get this. I think it's safe to pull this over. Oops. All right, this is not playing. Let me just download it really quick. Cool. All right, so here it is. This is a little lo-fi ditty from Nate. All right, so here's my knee-jerk reactions to this. For 3 hours, it's pretty darn good. The hat and the snare followed a little flat with the really dreamy guitar. I think the kick is fine being that flat, but with the dreamy aesthetic that you've put in there, I think that the whole thing would feel rather gelled in a more legit way if at least one snare every 4 bars had like a kind of a dreamy reverb on it as well. And if the hats had just a little bit of either reverb or just really, really subtle delay to give that back end swing effect, just to bring those two elements in the mix more into that kind of, yeah, dreamy or like kind of lazy kind of vibe. You know what I mean? I think that that one tiny little change would really kind of gel the whole thing together. Otherwise, I think that this is pretty solid, and I'm sure that they were happy with it. And if that's 3 hours, then I would challenge you, once you're through your website redesign and you have a little bit more mental bandwidth, to start doing a couple of 1 or 2 hour challenges for yourself for a full beat. Maybe it's just a 1 hour challenge and it's just a 4 bar, just to keep it all within reason. Maybe the first 30 minutes is the structure, and then everything else after that is just play, to mix it in a really creative way. Because I think that if you were to move swiftly and trust yourself even more, you'd probably be cranking out something even better than this in like an hour. I will say that after being so steeped in hop legs, that for you to come out the other side of it and knock this out in a few hours is a testament to you, your skills, sir. It was the lo-fi thing, dude. Oh, hey now, hold on a second. Andromia says, I don't want this to be a me show, but I've made the mentioned adjustments. Hey, yeah, we will definitely go back in there and listen to that in just a second. My lo-fi samples, huh? A way newer version. All right, let's listen to that, and then we will We'll check out Andremia's. Oh, well, this sounds totally different. I still desire at least one dreamy reverb on that snare at least once every 4 bars. This is far more organic. Is this what ended up going to the client? All right. This is great. I don't have many gripes about this one, dude. Honestly, this sounds so much more organic and full. And if this is the one that went to the client, then I know that they were happy. The only thing that I would add if it was me personally is I'd find some way to sneak in a long verb on one of those snares, but that's just me. Yeah, Andremia, night and day difference, right? Yeah. Well, this is Nate in a nutshell. He will come back to something a couple dozen times if he needs to until he finds a spot that he's just really proud of. Yeah, man, I love 2-hour track challenges. If you're not familiar with Ben Burns here on Twitch, he has a lot of 2-hour track challenges and then a listen party afterwards. Yeah. Thanks, man. Honestly, couldn't have done it without a supportive community and mentor like you. Oh, dude, you're doing the work, man. I'm just saying words. I just open my mouth and they bleh. You awesome. All right, Ricky, we're going to hit yours right after we hit this one from Andremia here. Andremia is working quickly today. Yeah, this is fun. I like the changes. Got a couple more thoughts here for you. The synth pad is just a touch dominant now in that intro. Everything else seems pretty well balanced. Around 130 or so, and this opportunity rears its head again over here later in the mix after the 3-minute mark. You could get some weird, clever gating or filter play in here, and you could even do it like if you were to combine a few different elements in the mix and do it to all of them simultaneously. It would come out of nowhere and it would surprise people and really pull people in. Great breakdown at 2 minutes, by the way. 223, love the pitch change on that bass, and I'm thinking that perhaps a subtle detuned pitch bend down just one step at the very end as it's actually resolving there after that weirdness. That'd be awesome. I like that art that you chose for this one. It's awesome. And 325, like I said, there's some space to play with some filters on the synth there. And this is a great track. This is fun. I love it when people chase inspiration. Sign out is out. Take care, dude. It's good seeing you. Welcome back to the mix, by the way. It's good to have you back, dude. Okay. I got one in here from Ricky. Ricky, you ready? There it is. All right, Ricky is saying, still working on the comp. If we hear anything on this one. Okay, cool. Hey, there's Ricky. How are you, dude? It's good to see your face. Brick Sakura. Okay, so really cool one, dude. There's so many cool things happening in here. And it's a little deviation from your norm. I like this. Um, I think in the intro, that background pad can come up just a bit, and perhaps a bit more to the sides too. Um, I feel like at the 1 minute mark, this is probably like rather ideal here. It's probably going to sound really nice mastered. Loving these textures. And I'm just going to put this out here right now early because this is one of the last things that I wrote here is consider switching one of the shared reverbs on those lively little critters, those little textures. Switch it to a spring and see what happens. Because there's this feeling of like dark or dubby techno kind of lurking in here, but it doesn't actually have the dubby feel to it. But I think some of the processing, the reverb specifically, would be nice, like an old school long form Petaluma spring or something. I think that'd be nice. I am sitting here wondering at the 120 mark about that kick. It hits in the middle, hits in middle, and I'd love to hear more of those textures without that in there at times. It's hitting right in a similar kind of range of frequencies as some of those. 148, really nice use of resonance here, dude, throughout the track, actually. And fantastic layering at 157 as you're coming out. I think it's like right, yeah, right here. Oh, it's great. That's good stuff right there. That's very nice. That bell synth here in this spot. What if you had a second instance of this in your mix that was dropped down an octave, that kind of swelled up into the mix at a couple of choice spots? Really like hearing you play with the modulators and their rates in the background here during this whole expansive point here in the middle of the track. At 3 minutes, that synth might be just a little bit loud at points. I would consider some rather random volume automation for that entire segment on that. And also, I would say that at 3:44, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, it's getting pretty busy. And I think that I think it might be time for a little Bob Ross in here. Like just go in and start carving away a couple of things that are not the things you want to highlight, right? Just to highlight those other things. And then, bring them back, but do it all through long form volume curves. I'm loving that 8-bit bomb, that little rise and fall in there. What about at 4:52, the last one comes down and it's actually an impact. It's like, but have it creamed out with some verb instead of being all like super, cinematic impact kind of thing. Just like a one of these. Hold on just a second. I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like one of, where is it? Like this. Maybe not quite as subby, but something like that, right? So like this tiny little thin 8-bit sound comes down and then I think it'd be great. All right, let's see here. What else do I have on here? That's it. That's it. I like this track, dude. It's cool. It's got a really nice vibe to it. I like it. Hope Nate made it to work okay. Oh, Saf, man, you are quite literally not even 1 day removed from your last job, and people are already poking at you to get another job, huh? Man. Yeah, imagine making music all day. And you bet, Indremia. I'm always happy to give you feedback. I'm glad that it resonates with you, dude. Charcal's here. How are you, dude? You have a new track. Excellent. Awesome. You bet, Ricky. It's always good to hear your stuff, dude. 100%. Okay, so let's see here. This one's from Charcal. Sure. All right, so first, yet another nice one, Charkel. I mean, right off the bat, there were so many things that were popping up that were just so, like they're just great decisions, and you're executing them well. Great detune at 9 seconds. Really nicely balanced juxtaposition of low and high, 22 seconds. At 45, I'm thinking maybe just a touch more verb on that guitar, but kind of have it riding on some kind of modulation. So it's a little bit more at points and a little bit less at points. I think it would really fit in with this kind of rolling vibe that you've got, kind of pushing this whole thing. Which, by the way, nice bass line. 109, freaking smooth, man. These transitions are great, and you've got your reverb all timed nicely. Your pre-delay sounds tight on them. It's good. Nice choices there. And a really nice sound palette, by the way, as well. At 215, where this drops off here, this is supposed to say wash some elements into an atmosphere here, and then wrap it up like 10 seconds later, right? So let's see if we can find this spot here. It's coming. So this right here, it could even be those needly little bits up top, right? The little mechanical kind of hi-hat-ish type sounds up top. All that fully, you could run a little subsend off to the side, and it's just wash, right? Just some massive reverb, 12-second tail or something, and just, whoa. A hawk just swooped down and grabbed somebody off the roof of the garage. I'm not sure what that little thing was. I'm not sure if it was like a small squirrel or what, but poof. It's like 10 feet in front of my face. Sorry, distractions abound. Anyway, yeah, I would just wash them and then let it wrap fairly quickly. And I'm thinking, as I'm listening to all these samples popping off, which are like right about here, I'm thinking Werewolf House or something. I'm not sure what exactly this ends up being called, but I feel like it should have its own name. Yeah, I was thinking something about the vocals too, and then I looked over and I saw you talking about that, and then yeah, vocoder came up. I see Paul mentioning something from Despotism, and that would actually fit the vibe. That would really fit the vibe. This is a pack that you can grab on the site, super cheap, and these things are great.
If people are rude to others because they think their wealth and position gives them that right, or because they don't like a man's race or his religion, when citizens have to accept what they're told. And if books and newspapers and the radio are efficiently controlled,
yeah, I could see something like this fitting in there.
when farmers lose their farms, they lose their independence.
This business about open...
As a community moves towards despotism, respect is restricted to fewer people.
Yeah, if you were to like manipulate this stuff so it's not always quite clear what the context is, I think that some of that stuff would fit really well in there. Yes, Intremia, I have my squirrel moments, don't I? Squirrel! I think that hawk just had a squirrel moment. Let's summon Stubby. Come here, Stubbs. There he is. What up, Stubbs? How you doing today, man? Raptor Uber. What I didn't see is that squirrel going, ah, damn app. Okay, there we go. Yep, hawk is on the way. Oh, man. Oh, great. Saf, I will click on that right now. All right, so this is something from Saffron. Oh, I need access, dude. Can you go in there and switch that really quick, Nick? Yeah, is Rainbow Cat working again? I would like for Rainbow Cat to be working again. Polavan, thank you. Polavan, thank you. How do I pronounce this so I'm not offending you? Yeah, we will get yours in just one sec. I'm waiting for this link to be freed up here from Saf. Let's see if this one's up yet. Nope. Poliven. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'd rather not slaughter names. All right, so while we're waiting for that, oh, it looks like he just changed it. Was Rainbow Cat working or not? Why Rainbow Cat? Why? We will get to the bottom of that one. In the meantime, Cats works. That's freaky. All right, here comes Safs. Okay, so we've got a little scene redesign here. Okay, let me just talk through this one instead of making a bunch of notes. So right off the bat, I would say that your character movement sounds, like the footsteps and stuff, are thin for the environment that they're in. So two things need to happen. One, drop the pitch on those, so they're coming down. I understand that the characters are small, but like the scene calls for a darker sound, I think. And then I would also put those into a more expansive reflective space, something with hard walls, like maybe cathedral type thing, right? This is a really open, like stone clattery place, I'm sure. I'm just going to start this again here. For that vocal, I think I would spread this out. There's nothing else happening in the scene. So, you know, mixing rules don't really apply. I would blast that out a little bit and just remind yourself that you're in this really expansive, highly reflective space. And if there was some kind of weird, like, Dark Lord's voice counting off numbers from ancient runes, I feel like it would be a bit more boomy and spacious. I would layer in a little bit of like electrostatic kind of sound effect here or something to help kind of accent the fact that that magic sound that you're queuing up here is like electric, that, you know, it's more in line with the imagery. You might want to consider like a sword sound, like a whoosh or something like that as it's being presented. That door should be in a space. So right now it's in a small room, and it's okay to nest a reverb on something like that. You're never really going to hear the overall effects of that small reverb once it's in a larger space. But you definitely want to detune the reverb channel on this as you put it in there to drop the pitch. And I would probably drop the pitch on the door in general. It's a big door. Look at this. Like scale wise, it is like 3 times his height or something. And again, it's in a big space. So I would drop the pitch on pretty much everything in this. Okay, so the weapon sounds, get some legit, like, those are like small, like knife sounds. I would go for something a bit more sweepy since he's like chopping these guys down. More of like a shoo kind of a sound, right? Yeah, so back up here. Try this again. Yeah, okay, so all of these melee sounds right here, I would process a lot of them like as a group in your DAW and bring up the low end for impact, and then I would run those through a shared compression as well that's really going to accent the mids. Maybe not something as over the top as OTT, but you could start there and see if it's too much and then back off if need be. Multiband for sure. Yeah, get some gore sounds in there. Remember our lessons on, you know, using meat and fruits and vegetable matter and stuff like that to really get those organic kind of sounds. I get that this is an older game, but again, you just want to get in vibe with the scene here. Volume mix on those magic spells. I'm assuming that was healing. Bring those down. And probably wash them just a bit with some verb. Ooh. Yeah, so all of that. This is good. It's a good place to start. Just keep in mind when you're working on scenes like this, the mood and the space and the reflective nature of the space that you're operating within. I wouldn't say that this is a bad redesign. I would say that this is a good starting point and that it will be a good redesign once you start implementing some of those things. I'm still kind of cracking up about the how did you put it, Paul? Raptor Uber. Oh my God, dude. That really surprised the hell out of me. I was not expecting a hawk to swoop up a small creature right in front of me. Right in the middle of my sentence like that. Flippin' awesome. Zeep Sandthorpe is in the house. Welcome, dude. Doing well today. How are you? All right, next up. Poleven. All right, here we go.
Click a light switch, shawty bad bitch, she the baddest. Basic white boys hit her DMs playing mad. Our racks on stacks, you can't have. And a kitty higher than my youth on mad. Click a light switch, shawty bad bitch, she the baddest. Basic white boys hit her DMs playing mad. Our racks on stacks, you can't have. And a kitty higher than my youth on magic. Oh boy, you lagging. Slingshot, little bitch can't have it. Oh boy, you lagging. Slingshot, little music like it's Adderall, cocaine, sniff it all. Fuck me, spray paint text all over my wall. Fuck this shit, brain split, yeah, it's terminal. Curry bank account, counting all like it's numerals. Eating out your bitch, you consumable. Got a big mouth, you know that's the usual. Body count larger than a fucking funeral. Need some out of pocket shit that's never fucking suitable. Light switch, shawty bad bitch, she the baddest. Basic white boys hit her DMs playing mad. Our racks on stacks, you can't have. And a kitty higher than my youth on mad. Like a light switch, shawty bad bitch, she the baddest. Basic white boys hit her DMs playing mad. Our racks on stacks, you can't have. And a kitty higher than my youth on magic.
All right, dude, this is good. This is that was a surprising hit in the beginning. All right, so the very first thing I would say is this intro synth is a little hot when it first comes in. So I'm wondering if it's not just a volume change that needs to happen here, but perhaps like a roll up, right? Where it's starting kind of just low pass, and you're kind of bringing up the highs as it comes in or something. Something to not quite blast people out of their seat on the very first note. And the reason why I say that is because this right here, what's about to happen, is the thing that should really blast people out of their chair. It's not that I'm not liking that synth. I think it's a great choice for the track. But I think that you should reserve the in-your-face punch for this moment right here. And also, let's see what we can do to accent this, because this is a brilliant little drop here. Let's go back to this. Okay, so this whisper right here, number one, let's bring that up just a little bit. And number two, let's put a parallel reverb on that so it kind of carries out and fills up that space. Let's see if there's anything else in there. You might even want to consider letting it sit for one more beat. It's a great hit. Really nice processing on your vocals here as well. Ricky, thank you for the gift sub. Poleven, this is choice, and I would really encourage you to keep bringing stuff back by. What if I told you it's an 808? I believe you that it's an 808. I do. Masters by Iggy is in the house. What's up, Tom? How are you, dude? Ooh, there you go. And Chumslick, welcome back, by the way. Good to see you. Happy Friday to you. And he's saying, yeah, I delay into it and make it pop. Hey, hold on a second. Polevan, two things. You've been in before, right? And number two, 16. I think we've had this conversation, haven't we? This is great. And it's only going to get better. I would consider at some of these chops here, man. You've got these fantastic gate chops over here. Oh, right here. All right, so I would do, or I would consider at least, some more rapid fire stutters at the very ends of some of those gates, not all of them, just for flair and nothing else. Is that a sneaky burp at 50 seconds? Is that what we're hearing here? And this, what if you extend that? I would consider extending a couple of things in here, personally. I really would. If we go back to that first tiny little drop, I would extend that at least a couple of beats. I would extend that little static breakup. I would extend that as a layer, this stutter. And I would let it fade over a period of like 2 bars after those vocals come back whole. I would let it go all the way down. Yeah, I'm loving the breakup on the vocals you got there. And I would consider a bit more space on your vocals at times, not throughout. I think it's in a pretty darn good position as it is right now. But it does seem a little, I guess, like thin and fragile at a couple of points, right? Which is not in line with your lyrics, right? So bolstering them in some way, and it could just be as much as thickening it up with some verb here and there. you might want to play with a little multiband on your voice at the very end of your chain, just so you can kind of accent the low end of the voice at points. I think that might be a good decision. And yes, I would say 6 stuff as well, Chumpslick. Absolutely. Good stuff. Anybody else drop a link in the chat while all of that was happening? I think that's it. But yeah, that one, it's got a good vibe to it. Sure, we will absolutely take another one from you. Since you are now part of the family over here, head on over to the Discord and grab your free sound pack every month. Subs get a free sound pack here, and then you continue just to get more free stuff, because that's just what we do here. Oh, and there we go. So yeah, go hit that. There's a subscriber rewards room in there. Download this month's free sound pack is called Sacred. Whatever you are inspired to make with it, whether it be a beat, a full track, a trailer, a scene rescore, whatever, reimaginings of the sounds, it is up to you. Whatever you're inspired to make, you circle back here and you submit it before the end of the month. On the last day of the month that we have a stream, we'll vote on all of these submissions. The big winner gets a guest spot on the show. Runner-ups receive some stuff. Everyone who participates receives stuff. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'd love to hear what you cook up. Just a reminder, everybody, you got next week to work on these things. And then the following Monday on the 31st, last day of the month, and it's a stream. And we will have Zemertz on. I do believe that is our plan at this point. He can have some kind of godlike power in the voting. He is last month's winner of the community challenge. Saf, I will put ears on one more thing for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Before I hit play on this, I'm going to go get some hot coffee because I need it and I need to stretch my legs really quick. I'll be right back. I'll leave you with a little something to fill the silence. And while I'm gone, if anyone else is wanting review or feedback on sounds or music, you just drop a link in the chat while I'm away and I will add your name to the queue. And I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm back. I've got my coffee. Thanks for hanging in there. Gotta have coffee, or else things just start to break. All right, let's kill this. Let's get back into some good noise here. All right, pull it in. Is this a remix? Because if so, probably not going to be able to do this. Simply because, no, it's not. Okay. Original. Okay, cool.
I need a fucking break, cause she always wanna bake. Running off her fucking tears, I know she'll never change. I had a shit head, but she got a bank. I keep coming back and taking asses ready land. Feeling don't give a fuck, no I couldn't quit shit. Split this in the cup, falling over, stepping over, pump. Fuck shit, you can never touch this. Running with delinquents, everything you want. Says she want my kids, I got no reason. Come on little baby, I can paint them, crush your face on. So in love, I can tell anything to please ya. Says she wanted tickets, so I kicked her to the bleachers. Fuck it, fuck you, and I'm in the fight shit. And these bitches on my dick, look how they be touching. And I know this bitch, she on me, and she really wanna fight. Wanna fight. I've been coming up in the motherfucking game. Me and all my brothers taking over, going insane. Fuck it, I'm so sick of living like my bro, my brain. I'm just sick and tired of the bullshit, all the games. Take a pay, I don't wanna give a shit, bitch. I got a tattoo on the lip. Take a pay, I don't wanna give a shit, bitch. I got a tattoo on the lip. Bitch, on my dick, yeah. And she got a tattoo on her little lip, yeah. Yeah, bitch, on the shit, I really give a shit. Shorty wanna be my chick, cause she see I'm getting lit. Now she blowing on my phone, won't leave me alone. Yeah, I only want the sex, girl, I don't want no dome. Yeah, I only want the sex, girl, I don't want no dome. Whoa, I don't want no dome. I don't wanna wake up, I don't wanna be here. Pretty with no makeup, she giving out free tears. Ain't afraid of no one, yeah, I cannot be fair. Baby, I'ma blow up, I see my future so clear.
Okay. All right, so fun ARP in the beginning. 14 seconds, man. You've like 2 tracks in a row. You've done this. You've got a really nice way of just breaking through in intro, and your vocals kicking it off each time. It's good choices, and I think that your vocal play, like the way in which you're playing with your vocal recordings, is just fresh. It's fun. It's got a bit of the 90s influence at points, which actually mixes really, really well with these more modern ideas. And I really enjoy that you're not afraid to just hard stop and chop things. It's nice. It gives you so much more creative freedom. I think that overall, the arrangement and the mix, your concepts at play, like all of it is solid. I would say that the kick could use a little transient boost to help it cut through. Is the bass? Yeah, the bass is sidechain. Yeah, it absolutely is like a punk influence, absolutely, for sure. But it plays well in all of this. It plays well. I'm going to throw this out there. In our current climate, socially, your let me go back and preface this with this statement. Your production value is very high. You're at 16 years of age right now. Socially, we have reached a tipping point And the way that the music industry is going right now, I would challenge you to sit and think about a couple of choices in these tracks. There are just some lyrical choices that you're making that aren't going to fly a few years from now, because the volume of content being cranked out by people right now is insane. I don't know that most people can quite wrap their heads around just how many tracks are being bounced and released every single day right now around the world. And we're in the midst of some big sea change moments, in the midst of a cancel culture tidal wave. And I would hate to see really good talent and ideas be skipped past just because of a couple of words that they've decided to include. So I would challenge you to go back and bounce an alt mix of both of these with just a couple of choice words, obscured, twisted, reversed, whatever. You keep the whole vibe going, and you make this a bit more all-inclusive for everyone who might be listening. And I think that it would be a really, really good choice for you, especially if you're considering pursuing this as a career, because at 16 years of age, I hear things in here, the decision making is superior to much of what I would hear from other people in your age range. So I'm just putting that out there. So back to the kick. It could be as simple as just a tiny little transient master boost, or something of that ilk. It could just be an enveloper. But really, you're not looking to add to the size of your sample at all, or of your kick. You're looking for like maybe between a 10 and 25% boost on that transient, and that's it. I wouldn't touch the gain. I wouldn't touch the sustain, anything like that. As far as the snare, I think that a bit of multiband to accent the mids, okay, is where it's at for this one, plus a small overdrive boost. And this, if you really want to get the best out of that snare, probably a 0 dB drive add, but I would add somewhere between probably like a 4,500 and 50 to 5,300 target for that snare, and you'll be surprised at what kind of difference you hear. You don't have to actually add drive. You're just going to target the frequency above the main body of the snare, and it's going to generate harmonics in this upper register, and it's going to allow that snare to cut through, and it's going to be brighter. If your kick is still having a hard time cutting through after the transient in spots, then I would do something similar. And you could target as high as 4K on that kick specifically, but it's probably going to be a sweeter spot somewhere between like 1,700 and 2,900, somewhere in there. And both of those things will pop in the mix for you a bit better after doing that. All right, Saf, I will check on Discord. Yeah, Fuchsia Music. Welcome, by the way. But yeah, right? The vocals. His we just listened to another track of his a few minutes ago. You can check out the VOD. But yeah, he's got it popping for sure. All right. Yeah, the vocal work is awesome. All right, Fuchsia, you are right after Saf here. Let's get back over to Saf. And if anyone else is wanting feedback today, get it in the queue now, because we will be wrapping up in about half an hour or so. I got sessions this afternoon with folks. Also, for those looking for private sessions right now, or sending stuff through to the queue, you're looking at least a few weeks out right now. I'm just completely booked. Goji. Um, all right, cool. So this is a really cool one, Saf. Really fascinating juxtaposition right out the gates. It's like just mind-altering stuff. Um, Starting at 48 seconds. I think it's a little busy in the middle, and I think that the hats are part of it. And at the end, I just kind of came to the conclusion that the hats are just dominant. Just bring them down like 4 dB. The whole thing will start to feel a little bit less I'm not sure if busy is the right word for it. Let me think about the right word for this. Because you've got all the right elements in play here for what you're aiming to do. Yeah, it's not necessarily busy. It's more like there's a certain amount of pressure involved in some of the frequency buildup here. So this long running Atmos that runs through it, bring that down by 4 or 5 dB, and then bring those hats down like 4 dB and see how the whole thing feels to you. I would also put a really subtle filter mod on the kick just to get a little bit more high out of it periodically. I wouldn't let it go down anymore. Make sure that you're cutting out the sub frequencies of that kick below 30 and that you've got a really sharp cut on it because it's lacking the punch. Even if you're going for the heartbeat effect, it can still have a little bit more to it. And I think that if you put a filter on it as well, just to slightly vary the top end frequency of it, that it would draw people's attention to it. So you wouldn't actually have to fix anything in the mix. You know what I mean? You can keep it really subtle and kind of buried like that. Very cool choice with the ongoing keys throughout. And that vocal bit, the one that really stands out at 342, it hits a little bit too on top. I would gel it with a bit more verb, a shared verb preferably, something that can kind of push it into the mix where other things already are. And that's it. It's a fascinating one. Fascinating. I will probably circle back and listen to that one again. I am not what I am. Thank you for being here and for the question. It says, hi, why do we love the sounds we listen to in music? So, well, there's many reasons, but usually we like the sounds in music that we like because of how they fit together, right? And what it's triggering inside of us. So most of us have very young, like very deep-rooted memories and experiences that are brought to the surface internally every single time a certain type of tone or mood is conjured up in music. And we don't put words to these things normally because we were not speaking words normally when these things first were triggered inside of us, and we correlate those things. So they are quite literally some of the oldest neural emotional pathways that we have. And then they resonate with us. And then when people do interesting and new, fresh things with those same types of sounds, or use them in ways that are just simply unexpected or even reminiscent, you get a stronger kind of feedback loop within yourself. So, like, it's not just like a psychological thing. It's like there's a physical aspect to all of this. Yeah, it's a great question. But what's the reasoning? Yeah, I see I see where you're going with this. Yeah, why do we dislike sounds too? This is a psychological understanding of musical preference in accordance of humans. My thought, it portrays your character as a human being. Well, okay, so yeah, this is getting into some really good stuff. Why do we like certain food? Okay, so the emotional response, and like how this could tie into, how did you put it? My thought, it portrays your character as a human being. I think you're very close there. I think that it's not a matter of semantics at this point. I think it's a bit more nuanced than that. I think that it's more that our experiences shape us and they do make us who we are because it is all we ever know. some of the closest points we ever get to other people are incredibly intimate and personal, right? Except for art. Like, it touches similar spaces. It is a very personal experience because it's happening inside of your head, right? Your perception of all of it is being put through the filter of your own experiences because it's all you know in relation to those things. So yeah. Paul till Tuesday. Ah, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I hope you have like a bunch of pudding or something soft to eat in the meantime. I hope you're not in a ton of pain. That sucks. Samaritz says, I need a couch to lie on. Hang on. What colors is white made out of? Well, white is actually a combination of all the colors in the spectrum, and black is not a color. It's the absence of any color. Music is a language. The thing is that music transcends verbalized and written language because we're cutting right to the chase. We're cutting directly to vibrations. Dremia says, I come here to learn. And Tom says, I like eggs. No pain, but have to be on guard all weekend. Man, that sucks. Okay, so there's another link up here. Who's it from? Was it Fuchsia? Yeah, Fuchsia. Was there anyone else that dropped a link in here that I have not mentioned out loud? Because if there is, and I haven't mentioned it out loud, then I'm skipping it, and I do apologize for that, but I don't think I have. I think we're okay. I think Fuchsia, you are up. Thank you for your patience. Fridays can be a little busy on feedback. All right, this one's called Shada. It's a whip, and it is from Fuchsia. Oh, I'm like, why is it trying to autocorrect me? I have that spelled correctly. It wanted to capitalize it. How about that?
Everybody's out there, but she doesn't matter. She say love's a disaster. Holla, go with the cash. Shut up, put a gun in the fire. She a badass. Everybody's out there, but she doesn't matter. She say love's a disaster.
This is good. 19 seconds. I would consider a very thin and subtle riser, just a 1 to 2 bar. It does not have to be a big build, nothing dramatic. Could even be a reverse cymbal or something. But I think that this could use just a tiny little push as we get into the meat of the track. Tweaks Official, thanks for the follow, dude. Thanks for being here. It's a great vibe. This whole thing has a really great vibe. 1 minute, vocals up. Even though filtered, it's a little bit artificially deflated here, and I totally get the long form volume rise to increase the intensity of the drop. But you don't want to overdo it in the early bars. It's just like when people add a more concave curve to their automation for risers and whatnot, and they're not quite considering the first couple of bars, like the impact that that curve has on the first couple of bars. Oftentimes a more linear rate is going to be better, or combining, layering two different risers at the same time, one more linear and one more flexed, is usually a better choice for those earlier bars. You can use volume mixing between those two to really dial it in. Jalil72, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate being here. Great vocal processing on this one, and I love the width on the kick. I really don't have much to gripe about in this one. I'm really digging the vibe. I would make a small change on that Vox level. I would add a little something out of the intro. I would also, because this is what, it's like 30 seconds or so, 20 seconds. I would play with just some really subtle filter movement on one of the layers in here. Like maybe just that reverb tail even. Like just changing the focus, right? Because you've got a fairly nice band running on that reverb channel. Maybe you're just shifting the whole thing up and down slowly, and it has enough time passes for you to get through like one really subtle sweep. And by subtle, I mean like maybe this thing moves like a total of, say, 200 hertz or something. Just a little something to get a little bit of variety in there. And the only reason I say that is because the kick and everything, they all hit kind of flat really in this early part of the intro. And I would say that if there was even just the slightest movement, that it would introduce depth. I think that's really, or like interest. Okay. And anything that you can pull the listener, anything that you can do to pull the listener in more at this point is really going to behoove the, it's better for everyone, right? Because as soon as they lean in, they're going to get to this point where this last kick hits. And just imagine, if you will, just this tiny little whoosh. You could even consider dropping this last kick. Not the very last one, the second to last one that's still remaining there. Or a fade out on that. I don't know. I think that you could do two things to really kind of increase the impact of this changeup right here. Other than that, man, this is freaking fantastic. This is great. I am not what I am, so black is made of nothing. Correct. It is the absence of color. It is what exists before color is introduced in a space. It is quite literally the absence of color. Think about a shadow and how a shadow is produced. It is quite literally blocking the light. And the light is what allows us to see color in the first place. Is fuchsia a color? Yeah, it's the color of your name right there. Samaritan says, some consider white to be a color because white light comprises all hues in the visible light spectrum, and many do consider black to be a color because you combine other pigments to create it on paper. But in a technical sense, black and white are not colors. They are shades. They augment colors. Yeah, and that is true. Absence means the lack of. What does mean? A thing, I suppose. That's awesome. I like the vocals in that too. Do I use an M1 Mac? No, I do not. I intentionally pulled the trigger on this a couple weeks before the M1 change happened. This is the very last build. There was a small window of time where you're able to get this, and I nabbed it. It is the final Intel build with the new Intel chip in it, and it's also got the Bionic coprocessor, so it takes the 10-core Intel chip and it magically transforms it into a 20-core beast. And now I'm just waiting for RAM to come down in price so I can max it out. And then it's just going to be a beast for another dozen years. Probably record some other vocals too. Well, I really like it. I really like it. And thank you for sharing it. It registers as a 20-core. It like legitimately does. I get my serial number out of there. Yeah. Quite fascinating how it all works. It is technically it's a 3.6 gigahertz 10-core i9, and it's running with DDR4 RAM. But yes, it does. It operates as a 20-core machine, which is just great. It's an iMac. It is an iMac. You guys, it's about 1 o'clock already. What the heck? I guess we just kind of talked all the way through another one. There's some really good submissions today for feedback. A quick reminder to everyone, if you have not already grabbed the free sound pack this month over on the Discord channel, if you're a subscriber, go do so. Because as soon as you turn back around and submit whatever you're inspired to make, you're just going to get more free sound packs. And then if people like it a bunch at the end of the month, then you're going to get even more stuff. So it's just a really silly thing not to do when you think about it, you know? Can't find a MIDI keyboard that's compatible with M1. Oh, are you serious? What about, are you like working within a specific budget here or what? Yeah, you know, I worked with Apple for many years, and I don't normally advise people in our industry to jump immediately on these things. That said, the M1 machines are freaking sweet. Okay, so is it M1 or is it Big Sur that's causing it? Let's see. See what people are saying here. Okay, so Nectar Novation keyboards work really well. That's being reported. A class compliant USB MIDI keyboard guaranteed no issues. Yeah, I would think that I feel like anything coming out of M Audio, Akai, Arturia, Native Instruments, I would think that all of these would be fine. Because the Mac OS has a ton of just general like class compliant drivers already running. $250 as max. Tweaks, what do I work in? Everything. I would say that the majority of my production time is these days, and for many years now, has been spent producing sounds and instruments and tools for companies like Native Instruments and Output and Apple. And this year there's a bunch of stuff going to Ghost Hack. I work very closely with Audio Design Desk. So I really have to be able to work across all genres very fluidly and all styles. You have the M1 Air. Shouldn't that be a Mac? Doesn't work with 30 plus years. Yeah, rolling keyboards should be fine. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, Saf, that's true. Yes, I do stuff for film and video game and television and stuff like that as well. Yes. And I got a couple of labels and stuff. I just don't really talk about it all that much. That's all. I just do what I do. That's what I say. And I like helping people figure stuff out and how to make their stuff better. Rolling keyboards are fine. You know, really, most MIDI controllers are going to give you the same kind of stuff. And if you're not like a massive power user, then you really don't even need to worry about most of the functionality and like nitty-gritty details about most controllers. You really don't. If what you do is push button, make noise, and that's it, then you could do any keyboard, really, any MIDI keyboard. If it says class compliant on it, it's going to be a plug and play solution for any standard operating system nowadays. But for many years now, the Mac OS has gone out and actively sought drivers when it recognizes new devices and stuff. Don't call him Hans. He hates that. Damn it, Saf. Stop calling me Hans. I would much rather you guys call me the Bob Ross of sound than the Hans Zimmer of sound. That's just a personal thing. I would much rather be associated with Bob Ross than Hans Zimmer. Not that there's anything wrong with Hans Zimmer. It's just that Bob Ross has a special place in my heart. That's all. Yes, the Bob Loblaw of sound. Yes, thank you. Little Arrested Development homage there. Hans Zimmer, your big idol. Yeah, he's a big idol of a lot of people. Absolutely. Tom says he's the Hans Zimmer of watching Twitch and drinking beer. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a good one. I like it. Hey, is anybody good streaming right now? Chris is Trent Reznor's secret weapon. You know, I've never spoken with Trent Reznor. I would say there are not many people that have like a hero status in the music world for me compared to the number of artists that I enjoy. But I would say that Trent is up there simply for the innovation and the perseverance as a solo creator to the nth degree, simply to get the sounds that he wants and not be influenced by others. I really, really appreciate that about him. I always have, ever since he was like Pretty Hate Machine days. Seriously, all the way back. Herbie is way up there. OhmLab is streaming. And of course, Andremia knows Hans. Of course, of course. Jangoza music is streaming. Okay. Okay. Yes, perfect drug. Trent is a proper student of sound design, right? You said anyone good streaming. Well said, Tom. Well said. What kind of beer you got today, man? Sounds flippin' good. You know, I was mentioning that I work with I work closely with Audio Design Desk, and I was watching. I don't want to let a cat out of a bag or anything, but I was watching the scene redesign, and it's from this super intense movie. We're on a mission to change the world, is what we're doing, right? This is quite literally the next generation, next level tool, and this is how this industry changes, is with this tool. Anyway, I'm watching this scene redesign this morning that someone in house has submitted, and it's just it's a war scene. It's super intense, and it's like 12 minutes long, and it's just like so taxing, so intense, and so flippin' riveting that I'm having a hard time like hitting pause just to even type out my thoughts and my comments on this thing to give feedback, right? And by the time that it all gets done, and mind you, this is at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something, right? Like I get done with this thing and I'm like, whew. Not only do I feel like I was there, like in that scene, like in the middle of war or something, but I felt like I needed a freaking drink at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's like, oh, jeez. Ooh, a Tuberg. Eric says, not a student, a full-fledged PhD. Yeah, he is. He is. I think Trent has always had an idea of what he was aiming for with everything he's ever made. Tweaks, we can do one more really quick, and then I got to bounce because I've got sessions with people today. I'd love to hang out with you guys all day, but I've got more stuff that I got to attend to. Oh, dude, Orbital? Absolutely. Dude, they're great. And you know, the Orb, like for a period of time there, if you were wanting to delve into like well mixed spatial stuff back then, like mind altering spatial stuff back then, I think Orbital and the Orb were a couple of the nice ones to tune into on the regular. Ooh, nice one, Paul. Thank you for always highlighting those. Tweaks, I'm going to click on this link. And Sub says he whispered me. How are you today, Zach, by the way? Where am I going here? It's my browser that I'm looking for here. Oh, there it is. Da, 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 da. You know... Oh, there it is. I was like, man, I just do not see this. Oops. Apparently, I'm still learning how to use my mouse. Hang tight, guys. Oh, Zach, I'm just reading your message here. Of course, dude. I am happy to help you with your album, man. And I think it sounds flippin' great, and no worries at all. Not one bit. I think it's good stuff. I can't wait to hear what other people are thinking of it when it's all out there for people. All right, let's do this quick feedback for tweaks, and then we will be on our way. All right, so this is Tweaks Official here. And away we go. Ooh, Children of Light. Okay, this is great. This is awesome. I think that the keys can come up initially in that intro bit at 25 seconds. Low end strings can come up as well, and I think you can kind of keep that overall boost aesthetically throughout. Just a touch more vibrato, or if you're not feeling you're getting the actual action that you want from within whatever plugin you're using to get there, you could just use a tremolo, right? 0 phase, so it's just basic volume automation, and then set that thing to an agreeable rate, and just very, very subtle, little bit of movement. Touch more on the top violins and that cello as well, down low. And at 112, I would add more expression modulation just to accent those little rises. At 130, I would absolutely put in a very subtle short form riser to accent this transition. And I'm talking very subtle. We'll show you. All right, so, and by super subtle, I mean just like super thin, no oscillators other than some noise, bright, give it some amp, bring your color all the way up so it's actually full spectrum sound. And we're talking like 1 to 2 bars. Just toss in a single note, any note will do. And then just with your volume automation, just go in and set a little point, give it a little curve. I mean, super, super basic like this, and then drop the volume. And then on a parallel, you're just going to put in a long form verb that has like maybe a 6-second delay tail on it. And it's going to sound great. It doesn't even need to be a fancy verb. You just, whatever. Right? It just simple. And it's going to be so unintrusive in your mix that there's just going to be this subtle lift, like this subtle brightness and like very unique surge in intensity because it's a bright white noise. So because of all the other activity, all the other frequencies in play right there, it's basically just going to bolster all of those frequencies as it sweeps up. And there you go. That should kind of help lift up into that next spot. All right, so Tom, you take care too. You too, Saf. Thanks for hanging. And Dremia, I agree, this is very pretty. Yeah, it is very cohesive musically. Great. And I'm sorry to rush through the feedback on your first one that you bring to us, Tweaks Official, but I do appreciate you submitting. And it's not a reflection upon your music. It's just that I got a boogie because I've got sessions with folks today. So I will catch you all on the flip on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. Who were we saying? Someone tossed out. I'm not seeing it now. Was it in Dremia? Oh, Jangoza. Let's find Jangoza. Let's go see what this person is all about. I have not checked it out. We'll take him whoever's left standing. All right, so raid. Jangoza music. Oh, and there's nobody in there. Yeah, let's go surprise him. All right, kitty cats, thank you so much for being here. I will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend. Stay inspired. Get something done with some sacred sounds. Go grab them from the Discord if you haven't already. They are free to all subscribers. And we'll check out what you worked on over the weekend next week. I'll see you on the flip. Peace out.
So now I think it's using whatever it can see as the range for this envelope looping. So now it's looping most of the loop. That is trippy sounding because of the grain speed. So we could slow it down.